Today I'm here with SolidWorks simulation portfolio updates and SolidWorks 2022. Okay, we'll see the updates regarding simulation portfolios. Yep, here we'll have a deeper dive into simulation part. So later on we'll just go through flow and the plastics. We already know in SolidWorks previous versions we have the connectors, different types of connectors. In 2022 we have linkage rod, so which has the capabilities of rigid and pivotal as well as the spherical conditions, and we can add the several different cross sections as circular, rectangular and all, and even we can define the dimensions and the material for that connector. And with respect to this linkage rod, we can have the results according to shear, axial and the bending loads. In SolidWorks Simulation 2022, we have blended curvature based mesh as default. In the previous versions, we had standard mesh. Okay, and 2022, the PCB is default now. Here, improved performance. If you have the boundary conditions like bounded contacts and the virtual connectors, the solver time got reduced to 30% compared to the previous version. So now it is 30% faster. Now we'll have a hands-on session so we can have an overview of all these updates there. So this is a Nemo handle which is used to seal the container. So this latch should have the 500 Newton minimum force to seal it. Okay, to analyze this I'll use the 1/3 of the portion. Again I'll just exclude this particular linkage rod from here. So as we already know, we have the linkage rod into connectors in SolidWorks 2022, right? So we can utilize the connections to deal with the connectors. So these are the different connectors we have, and this is the linkage rod. We have rigid spring bolt as well. Okay, and here with respect to linkage, as I said, we can define the faces, and according to that we can switch between the conditions, that is pivot or a rigid or a spherical joint. According to that you can even set the section parameters like circular, hollow circular and the rectangular one. You can set the material as well as the dimensions accordingly. Here I'll consider 1 centimeter as the reference diameter. To seal this, human should apply 16.5 Newton torque on the handle. So I'll just select the reference faces and define accordingly. Torque on this one, so I'm considering 1/3 of this, so I can take 16.5 by 3. The value is 5.5. I'll consider that value here. So as I explained before in SolidWorks 2022, while defining the mesh, the blended curvature based is as default now. So you can define the global sizes, and even in SolidWorks 2022 you can refine the global mesh with advanced mesh control options. So on these faces I want to refine, so you can use the advanced mesh control options to refine here also. Again in SolidWorks 2022 we have seen that it has the capabilities, that is 20 to 30% faster results accuracy. Yeah, So now I'll just cross check the contact force here by switching to the results tab and using the list of connector forces. So here I need the contact force. I'll just select the phase, and on this, if I update it, we can see the resultant force is 153. If I multiply this by 3, I'll get on an average of 460. So this is less than 500 Newton. So I need to make some changes into the design. So what I can do is, in the linkage, I'll add the height from 25 to 35 so that we can achieve the proper sealing. According to this change, I'll just run the study and I'll just simply cross check the results whether my contact force is sufficient to seal this or not. And the resultant force is 210, so which is approximately 630 more than 500. So we are good to go with this. So in this scenario, we have just gone through all these SOLIDWORKS what's new features, that is of meshing and even of the linkage rod and even the performance of it, so which is 30% faster compared to the previous versions. Okay, so apart from this, we have one more update, that is automatic solver selection for buckling, frequency and nonlinear studies also. So what it does, it will automatically select the solvers. We don't need to manually define it. So with these enhancements, this will speed up our performance and the solution accuracy. So this is all about SOLIDWORKS simulation updates since 2022. Now we'll have a deeper dive into flow simulation and we'll see the updates with respect to this. In flow simulation, we have the advanced flux slot which is added for the Transient Explorer so that we can get a detailed idea about how the flux slot is helping to get the numerical results. We have compared results in previous versions also, but in this recent version we have the merge plot option to compare the results. Scene plot enhancement. Here we can create perfect scene which will help us to retain the display settings. In previous versions, to get the goals, that is equation goals, also we need to read on the study, but in 2022 this is automatic. So you just need to select the equation goal and select the plots which you want to add it, so it will automatically solve and give the results. In compare results, we have the result summary which has the all the advanced or all the important information about the project. So we'll see these all the steps inside the hands-on session now. Yep, here you could see these are the LED lights. So we can customize the timing accordingly, how the light intensity should vary with the timing, how it should change, so that we can maintain the temperature accordingly. In the flux slot, as explained, we have the advanced flux slot in 2022 which gonna give the detailed idea about the project, how exactly it is varying and what and all the steps are here. Coming to equation goals, in 2022 you just need to select the goals which you wanted to add into the equation and the plots will be automatically solved. In the previous versions, you need to read on the study to get the equation goals, and here it is automatic, and here you can have the history plot to check how the results are varying. So this is the one of the good enhancement we can see here. According to heat sources, we can see the probes and even we can copy them and we can cross check how the heat generation rate is happening over there. We have the compare results. As I explained, in the compare results we can select the required plots and the required studies so that we can have the compare. So in the plots, in the difference, you can see all the studies added. We can use the maximum as well as the original and the minimum plots. According to that we can differentiate. So it will give the maximum plot according to the studies as well as the minimum and the main differences as well. Even we can switch between the studies to check how they are behaving. And this advanced result summary will give you the entire brief scenario, all the advanced information about the project and about the coming to the plots and scenes. So we have seen the updates, so we can generate more finer and updated scenes and plots here. SOLIDWORKS stores all your displayed plots, model orientations and zoom and part visibility within the scene plots, which will help us to save time when reloading results with improved post result workflow. Yep, apart from these updates we do have few. So here we could see ropes. We can easily copy them along with the plots that define the ropes. Even we can check the geometries. We can create the solid and the fluid bodies when using improved geometry handling mode. Removing the missing entities. So software automatically recognizes the missing and the suppressed bodies, and it will automatically removes the faces and edges if they are present. Surface parameters. According to the crop region, you can directly get the surface parameter calculations and you can have it for your reference. So that's all about SOLIDWORKS flow simulation updates. Now we'll have a deeper dive into plastics. So in plastics, we have the symmetry boundary conditions, which is added in 2022, and even we have this cyclic boundary condition. We have sketch-based runner updates. Over there we can automatically flip the dimensions, and you don't need to define the element sizes, so automatically solver gonna take up the values. Injection location advisor, we can say one of the best update, so which will automatically give us the best location for the injection. Expanded material database, that is over 100 new materials added and over 1500 materials got updated to have the improved solution accuracy. So on the top of the tree we can define the fill, pack, cool and warp studies. Accordingly we can customize, we can run the studies as per our requirement. So we'll see these all the steps in hands-on session now. Yep, in SOLIDWORKS Plastics 2022, so once you define the study, on the top of the tree you can set your simulation type. We can customize according to the requirement, and you can save the simulation type here. So as I explained before, 100 new materials got added and we have the 1500 materials which has updated to get the more better accuracy results. So here I'll select the 500 material from POM, which has melt flow rate of 12 grams per 10 minutes. This is the injection location advisor in 2022, which will help you to get the injection location with optimum results. And even the pulling direction to have a better understanding about the clamping force. Timing is 1.19 seconds here. This time I'll use the sketch based runner and the spray system. We have the advanced options here. As I explained, you can select the gate and you can define the diameter values, and you can switch by using the reverse option, and you can see a number of elements got automatically added. You don't need to define it manually. So these are the few things here. And in 2022 plastics, we have the symmetry boundary conditions with respect to the runner as well as the plane. We can define it. So this will help us to reduce the time span of the solving. And even we have the cyclic symmetry over there. You can define the edge or a plane. According to that, you can have the cyclic cavities. So these are the top enhancements in SOLIDWORKS 2022 plastics. So according to that, you can mesh your model by using the advanced meshing options, that is curvature based mesh, or you can refine it, and even you can utilize the advanced mesh control options to refine it at a specific regions. To have a brief overview about the results, you can directly run the study and get the updates about the results here. In 2022, you have this tab that is display symmetric results, so which will help us to visualize the symmetry results. According to that, we can have the flow results and we can visualize other results. So this is one of the good enhancement we can say here. Okay, apart from these updates, we do have few more. So here we can see the cool solver is now 20% faster one, and even the direct solver is 50% faster now, and the scaling for high resolution displays, so we can have the 4K and higher resolution displays as a result output, so which will help us to analyze and visualize the results in a better manner. Now to summarize everything, I'll just have a short overview here. In SOLIDWORKS simulation, we have a linkage rod which will help us to use powerful connector for easier setup and the faster simulation. We have the blended curvature based mesh is default, which will help us to save the time with efficient mesh. Enhanced bonding and the contact, which will solve the models with the bonding and the contact considerably faster. And parallel processing system will help us to solve the models much faster with parallel processing improvements. Faster save, so simultaneously you can save the results, so which is significantly faster. Automatic equation solver and non-linear buckling and the frequency analysis, so which will also help us to reduce the solution time with built-in intelligence for solver selection. Okay, this is all about simulation. Now about plastics, so injection location advisor, which will help us to get the optimal solution results with the first simulation. Cyclic and symmetric cavity and the runner layouts, so which will help us to save the time when computing the complex model layouts. Coming to flow simulation, here we have the scene plots, which will help us to save our time while reloading the results with improved plot results workflow. And compare plots will also help us to locate the critical results faster and more easily by using result summary as well as the compare results. Plots will help us to deal with this. So that's all about SOLIDWORKS simulation updates in 2022. Thank you. Stay tuned.